Now we're going to look at the various kinds of reports that can be generated by the system based on the information that we give it. A lot of these reports are very useful, but there is going to be one that we don't worry about just yet. We're going to worry about that a little bit later, and I'll show you which one that is. So using our administrative toolbar here, we're going to go to Store, Reports, and we're going to get all of them. The one we're not going to worry about is going to be cart links. We'll worry about that later. I'm going to create a separate video for that because it's kind of its own little thing. First, we're going to look at then customer reports. Now this is going to give you an overview report of everybody who has an account with you. And when people check out anonymously, it'll automatically create an account from their email address. It'll just be a blocked account. So that way they don't have to worry about signing in or anything like that, but you'll still be able to keep track of their sales through this report. Now, what this is going to be good for is you get the person. All right, now we just have me, you, and this test account that I'm using. How many orders they've had, how many products they've had, and the total amount that their order has been. And then, of course, the average. So if you use this, you can use it like, say you want to create a special deal for the customers that you have most, or you want to contact them and say, hey, we got this new product, I thought you might be interested based on what you've bought before. You can use this to kind of sort out how many people come back, how often they come back, what kind of products they buy, and how much they spend in your store regularly. So then we'll go back to reports for the next one. Let's go to product reports. Alright, so this is going to be basically a report of all the products you have in your store right now, how many you sell, how much revenue that's making you, and the gross amount that you're making off that. And as you can see, it's sorted by not only the product title, but then there's an SKU. Now these SKU separations are useful because remember when we were talking about attributes, how you can create a specialized SKU under the regular one, determining, a different kind for each product attribute. This would be useful for that. Say we would have the EDL yellow, EDL smoky, EDL clear, and you would be able to have how many of each one of those you sold, the total amount sold under, Delta Tactical ballistic glasses, so you can see the product popularity there, as well as the popularity of which kind of lenses there are, how much revenue that's making you, and of course, gross. And as with most of these reports, you can export to a CSV file, which you can import then into Excel for a regular, report spreadsheet. And you can see all records in case they're all not showing. I think it does truncate at like 50 records or something like that. All right, and then we have the sales reports. And this is good for, you can see how many orders you've had today, how much revenue that's made, how much, you've made per order on an average, how much you can compare that to then yesterday. You can have a month to date, daily average for January, projected for January, based on what you've had so far, statistics for grand totals, number of customers, new customers, online customers, payments received and abandoned. These were just from testing, so you can ignore about one for each of those. And then you can also have sales per year. This will give you how many orders, total revenue, and average per order for every single month and the year. And you can go, previous years, whatever. And then you can also create custom reports, but we won't get into that because it's a more complicated issue. And again, it does have a CSV link at the bottom. I'll go back up. And then sales tax report. This is good when you're collecting the sales tax on the items because you can have different jurisdictions. I think the only one that you're going to have to worry about is the California sales tax. Like you said, it was like 9.1% or so, but you can create reports for that based on jurisdiction. And then probably the more important one that you're going to be looking at along with, customer, product, and sales is going to be stock reports. And this, because we don't have any stock active right now, it's not going to show anything, but when you do have stock active, it'll give you the SKU of the product, what the product is called, how much stock you have, what the threshold is for sending that email out, and then a list of operations that you can do against that. You can edit the stock, you can edit the file, whatever. But this will be good for giving you an overview of your store, how much you have left based on this series or this store right here, you can change that if your actual stock is different because you sold one on eBay, you sold one in a different store, you sold one to your friend just down the street, whatever. That pretty much wraps it up for reports. Next, we're going to be learning the finer points of meta tags, and then we're going to go through cart links.